Other. Larry Sharpe has traveled the country and has personally visited every county in New York State, listening to people's concerns. The Sharpe Way is a show where answers, solutions, and common ground can be found so that together we can forge a new way forward. The Sharpe Way is the way to mutual respect, where no one has to convert to be heard, because you can be as liberal or as conservative as you want, as long as you aren't forcing your beliefs on others. Welcome to Sharpe Way Radio.
Oh, yes, it is Larry Sharpe. Sharpe Way Radio on the Voice of Liberty, 585-346-3000 is the number to chat with me after the break. You know, I was thinking about something today. My daughter, my youngest daughter, she didn't go to school today. It's a holiday. And I thought about me going to school as a little kid in the Bronx. And I remember one day, well, because it's raining today, I was thinking if she goes, she's going to jump on, the subway or something. And I remember when I was a kid in the Bronx, in elementary school, going to school, there wasn't a school bus. You took the regular city bus, and you had a bus pass, and it would change colors for every month. So I remember one day, I'm up in the morning, and I'm at my babysitter's house. Where I lived in the Bronx, it was a big apartment building, and my mom and dad went off to work, and I went to a babysitter's house when they did drop me off there, and I would leave from their house and go to school, and I would take the bus. So I'm at my babysitter's place, and I'm probably, 8, 9, something like that. I'm a little kid. And I think, okay, I'm going to go to school. So I grab my stuff, walk outside, and realize I've lost my bus pass. I know a kid lose something. Shocker. But true, I'd lost my bus pass. I thought, now what am I going to do? I don't have a bus pass. What am I going to do now? What should I? Oh, my God, the world's going to end. Do I not go to school? What do I do? Oh, my God. And I figured something out at like 9 years old or 8 years old. I could just walk to school. And I did. I just walked to school. That was it. World didn't end. I just walked to school. It was fine. It wasn't that far away. It was, several bus stops, but I was a kid. I could walk to school. The world wasn't going to end. So I walked to school. And I thought it was kind of cool because it was new and like different and stuff. So I walked home. I thought that was kind of cool too. And I found myself over the course of the next several weeks just walking to school and back. And I never told my mom. I never told her. I just went up and I walked to school. And then I walked back. And that was it. And then the next month, when the bus passes came out, I got my next month bus pass. So whatever it was, like a week or two, whatever it was. So next week, I don't remember. That was a couple years ago, 1 or 2 years ago. I don't remember. But whatever it was, sake of argument, a week, whatever. So I walked back and forth to school for a week. And then I got a bus pass again. I never told anybody. I didn't really care. But I knew that I could walk to school if I had to. And then here or there, I would walk to school or take a bus or whatever. It was never an issue for me anymore. And I said, well, Larry, why are you telling me this silly story about when you were 9 years old? Because I thought at 9 years old, I was dependent upon the bus pass. Initially, I was afraid. I was a 9-year-old kid. I was afraid that I'd get yelled at by my mom. I was afraid my teachers would be angry because I'd lose my bus pass. I was afraid, oh my God, how can I survive without my bus pass? The world's going to end. Like it was, for a 9-year-old kid, it was a pretty big deal. I was scared. I was worried for nothing. But I was. Well, guess what? Our dad, Daddy Trump, has decided that he's not giving New York money anymore. He shut the government down. You might go, oh my God, the world's ending. Well, if you're our governor, our queen, Her Majesty Queen Kathy, first of her name, worshiper of the jab, destroyer of businesses. She is that the world's ending. Oh my God, the world's ending. We're all going to die because Daddy Trump is not giving me my check. We're all going to die. I get it. But she's not 9. Well, physically, maybe mentally. But physically, she's not 9. I was 9. And I figured it out. Like at 9, by myself, it took me some time. Like I got scared and stuff. But I did eventually go, okay, I'm 9, but I can handle this. I could. She's not 9. And she can't handle this. Now, she has a big issue, though, to be fair. Be fair. About 35 to 40%, maybe 38%, give or take, of New York State's budget comes from the federal government. Yeah. So over a third of our budget came from, at first, Uncle Joe, I guess a couple years ago, Uncle Joe, now Uncle Don. So now we need our rich uncle to write us checks, or we can't survive. We're talking billions of dollars, if you count them all up, going to education. Billions of dollars going to infrastructure. So Hochul's scared. She's 9 years old. She's me at 9. She's scared. Literally, I'm not joking. She called Trump, asking for money. Yeah. She called Trump. I'm not making this up. She said it herself. Like she said it. I didn't say that. She did. She said she had to have a thank you call to get the money. I thought she was fighting Trump. I thought Trump was the evil guy. I thought she could, to hell with that guy. Orange man's bad. Hate that guy. Except when I need some cash. Then, you know, I've always loved you, Trump. I've always loved you. Hey, it's a joke. I got jokes. I got junk. I got jokes, Uncle Donnie. Where's my check? That's where we are now. And here's the best part. Calling, thanking, begging, while, I'm not joking, also suing. Yes, trying to get the courts to demand that the money comes anyway. Because now I deserve that money. See that? I deserve that money. I'm owed that money now. But I'm not surprised. I mean, think about it. If you had a daughter, son, I mean, I have daughters, so I'll say daughter. You got a daughter, and you keep that daughter in your house. She's 18, 19, 20. She doesn't want to go to work. She doesn't want to go to school. She wants to lay around and hang out and TikTok all day. And you go, okay. And you don't make her pay rent. And you feed her. You don't make her go to work. You pay for everything till she's 30. So that's 12 years. Are you paying for everything, not asking her to do anything? She don't got to go to school. She don't got to go to work. Nothing. And then she's 30 and you go, sweetheart, you need to get out. You need to go do something. And she says, Dad, Mom, where's my check? Where's my check? You've been giving me a check 12 years. I want my check. I go, it's my money. I don't have to give you a check. I don't have to do that. You're an adult. Get out. Of course she expects it. I've been doing it for 12 years. I've trained her to expect it. So of course she does. She thinks I'm the bad guy. Of course she does. This is where we are now in New York State. This is where we are now. It is expected that the federal government will give us 1/3 of our budget, or we cannot survive. It is expected that we will have to follow all the rules, regulations, guidelines, strings attached from the federal government because they give us over 1/3 of our budget. We cannot survive without it. We can't keep our schools open. If you ask our queen, you can't keep our schools open. We can't keep our trains running. No security. No nothing. No nothing. All because, at first, Obviously, Uncle Joe gave us cash. Now Uncle Don's going to give us cash. He can't. Now, we had a similar, not the same, but a similar issue in the 70s in New York. Couldn't make any money, trouble with safety, all those issues. And for those of you who were around back then, you remember what happened. It's called the Guardian Angels. Yeah. New Yorkers stepped up and said, we're going to patrol. We're going to fix things. We're going to go around and make things work. We don't need the government. We can do it. Now, don't get me wrong. It was dangerous. And to be forward, the guy who's currently running for mayor in New York City, Curtis Sliwa, he started it. He's been shot multiple times. I think 5 times. I'm not sure, but it's multiple times. That I'm sure of. But I think 5 times. And he's still fighting. Can't stop. Still fighting. Trying to make it to when New York City and New Yorkers can function without the federal government and all the strings attached. They might say, Larry, why would I be mad? Getting free money from the government. I get that. That sounds amazing. It does sound good. Hey, Larry, you pissed off? We're getting free money from the feds. Why don't you shut up and take the check? I get that logic. I do. Here's the problem with that logic. Every dollar that comes isn't free. Number one, we paying a bunch of taxes. Number one. But number two, even if the money was magically free, it's not. But let's say for the sake of argument, it's free money. Awesome. It's just the money tree. Grow in and money comes at us. Okay. Every dollar has a string attached. Every dollar has control coming along with it. I don't want to owe the federal government. I don't want to pay them damn taxes. And I don't want to do what Washington, D.C. is telling me to do when I know it doesn't work. It is lose, lose, lose. Now is our chance to make change. Am I nuts? You can tell me. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharpe on the Voice of Liberty, Sharpe Radio. Back with your calls and your chat after the break.
For the last couple of years, Joe Robach has been telling you about Flower City Collision in Henrietta, saying that it was started by a veteran along with his son, Zach. Hi, my name is Greg Sadwick, and I am that veteran. I want to thank the WYSL listeners for their support over the last couple of years. During those years, not only have I experienced the gratification of providing you the best repairs and customer service, it has also allowed me the opportunity to see my son develop as a young professional. So remember, Flower City Collision for your collision repair needs. And thank you for supporting our locally owned family business.
Donald Trump and conservatives may have won, but you know the left will unceasingly try to undermine society and spread evil, targeting the innocent and God-fearing, especially our children. Help promote a truth-based society and try something different in 2025. The WYSL stations can grow your business, professional practice, or organization, so allocate your ad dollars here. Reach our huge audience, entertained, inspired, and informed by leading conservative thought. Affordable, effective. The WYSL stations, the voice of liberty. Call 585-346-3000 to advertise.
Hey, if you like history and you like airplanes, the National Warplane Museum in Geneseo, New York is the place to go. Tours, exhibits, events, vintage aircraft, and
we have Keith.
Visit nationalwarplanemuseum.com for more details.
Sharpe Radio on the Voice of Liberty.
Oh, yes. It is Larry Sharpe. Sharpe Radio on the Voice of Liberty. 585-346-3000. Want to grab a quick comment. I think Dave is teasing me. He says, how many miles did you walk? I walked 50 miles uphill both ways in the snow, even in the summer. No, it actually wasn't that bad. It seemed like a decent amount when I was 9, but it was probably, I'm going to guess, Bronx blocks, probably 10, maybe in that area, maybe 10 to 12. It was, I think, 3 or 4 stops on the bus. So it wasn't crazy. It wasn't that bad. So maybe like 10 or 12 blocks. But when I was 9, it seemed like a long, time. And I'm guessing. I forgot it. You know what? I'm going to go on a map and check. But it was probably like 12 blocks is my guess in that area. It wasn't crazy. It was definitely doable, particularly for a kid. Thanks for the chat, though. Let me grab a call if I could. This is Keith. Keith, how are you, sir?
I'm okay. Hopefully you too. Happy Columbus Day to everyone, really sincerely. President Trump, thankfully, brought that back. Today is
True.
Columbus Day, federal holiday, Remembrance Day. So, as I say that, several short comments. Trump gives mixed signals. He'll, by example, bring back this very good Columbus Day. But then he hates green energy, and you can comment. You're a New Yorker. He's willing to work with Hochul in allowing those windmills down in your part of the country there in New York to remain in place. So that's a mixed message from him. And so far as New York City's finances, it goes way back. It was a Republican president, either Nixon, Ford, or Reagan, who pointedly told New York City to drop dead when they needed extra money. The Republican president was going to allow the Big Apple to fully go bankrupt, belly up. I wanted to say, insofar as I'll wrap it up with comments having to do with the Fed's cutting financing to New York State. You've got Hochul, who's backing Mandani, who is a backer of Hamas. So if Elise Stefanik should run for governor, she should throw that back in Hochul's face. How are you backing someone like Mandani, who, when he was a rapper, was singing phrases in praise of Hamas? So the Republicans have to hold Hochul accountable on that. And in closing, what is the overall state government going to do? I'm thinking in January, where they now outlaw natural gas hookups. So far as that's going to increase the price for everyone. I think the feds, to throw it again back at Albany, should cut funds. You cut natural gas, which is a very stupid, foolish thing to do. The feds should flat out retaliate and hold drastic funding from New York State overall.
You gave me a bunch. Let me try to grab all of them. Number one, Trump's mixed signals. Yes, the one thing I keep saying, and some people are still shocked by this, what Trump actually is. People think, well, is he a conservative? Is he a Republican? Is he a liberal? He's none of that. Trump is a New York City real estate developer at his heart. That's where he grew up. That's how he is. That's his personality, which means, Keith, he is a deal maker. That's what he's about. And if he wants something, he will make a deal. And it makes some people who are more ideological.
Next call, Nate.
It makes them angry. It makes them angry because he will make a deal and he will mix the signals. You're correct. Number two, the president who said drop dead was Ford. He was a Republican, yes, but it was Ford who told New York City to drop dead. When it comes to Hochul, Mamdani, and Stefanik, it is irrelevant. If Stefanik just yells, Hochul bad, Hochul communist, Hochul, not going to work. That hasn't worked forever. It's only going to work. It didn't work in the country when Democrats just yelled Trump bad. Not going to work, irrelevant. If Stefanik doesn't have a plan, and at the moment she has none, she's going to lose and lose badly. You have to have a plan. That is what Mamdani has taught us. Mamdani's plan is clearly not a good plan, but it's absolutely a plan. And New Yorkers want a plan. They want something to change, and they will take a bad plan over no plan. Yelling Hochul bad, going to fail. And your last piece, what are they going to do in January when this terrible idea of trashing natural gas and forcing us to not have it comes into effect? I'll tell you, they're going to blame Trump. Guaranteed, they will blame Trump. It's all his issue, all his problem. He did it all. Trump evil, his fault. Did I get all of them, Keith?
Next call, Nate.
Oh, I lost Keith. Okay, I hope I got all of them, Keith. Let me grab in the call if I could. Nate, how are you?
I'm wonderful, Larry. How are you?
I'm doing great. What's the good news?
The good news is there's a chicken barbecue going on at Oneida the city of Oneida, Post 169. It's the American Legion. This Sunday, 12 to 4.
Another call on hold.
Benefit you, Larry.
That is correct. I will be there, guys. And if you can get out there to Oneida, the American Legion Post there, be amazing if you can get there. That's in Madison County. If for those of you who are unsure, you can pop out over there, check it out, and I will be there. You can sit there, hang out, chat with me, and have some chicken. Nate will be there too, right, Nate?
That's correct. Yeah, and I'll have some of my signs and my stencils and stuff there too. You know, I'm the sign guy for you.
That's true. Sign guy will be there. We'll be there, 100%. By the way, I will be,
Awesome.
for those of you who want to see me, I will be running around next week, starting on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you want to see me, I'll be in Fulton County, Hamilton County on Friday, Saturday, North Country Tour, Warren County, Clinton County, St. Lawrence County, all of them. If you want to see, go to any of my Larry Sharpe, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You can see my poster where I'll be. And then, of course, the cookout on the 19th. Nate, thanks for the call, my friend.
Absolutely, Larry. Have a good day.
Have a good one. Look, I think if you want to come see me, I'm not a guy who just talks.
Lorraine.
I actually am out there meeting people. You can come see me. All righty, another call if I could. This is Lorraine. How are you, Lorraine?
I'm great, Larry. How are you?
Good.
Okay, my comments are a little bit to the side of what you've been talking about, but they involve Auntie Kathy Hochul. And I wanted to say that I'm a little surprised nobody has brought some kind of an action against her when she tried to stop people from counting the votes or verifying Lee Zelkin's election because of New York State audit had the whole history.
Yep.
And she told them to cease and desist doing what they were doing, which was, they had every right to try to verify it.
I agree with you. And I think the New York Citizens Audit has been doing a great job on trying to, if nothing else, just get people to recognize that we should be watching this, if nothing else. I mean, they've done more than that. But if we could just get people to not just walk away. Here is the problem, Lorraine, and I know people don't want to accept this. Right now, New York State establishment is so satisfied and okay with it, they don't want to rock the boat. The leaders are all getting paid. The leaders are all doing well. They don't want to rock the boat. There's not enough people to push back, which is why I'm happy you're saying something. Because the more people who push back, the more you'll see they'll have to act. I agree with you.
May I say one more thing?
Please.
I was wondering if it would do any good at all in the next governor's election to point out where the heck was Kathy when the people went into the nursing homes.
Yes. I bring that up often. The problem is, I think she's kind of okay with it. I think she says she's kind of okay with the lockdowns, but she blames, if you remember what Cuomo said it wasn't his fault. What Cuomo said is that it was the workers who came in. They gave everybody COVID, and that's why they all died. That's the story he's been saying since he's been running for mayor. She's copied that story. So I think that's been the story, Lorraine.
But Trump gave them a ship, and I don't think they made use of it.
I remember the ship. It was in off the coast of New York City, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, I bring it up. I think we should. We have to tie her to Cuomo. I agree. Thanks for the call, Lorraine. So look, is Lorraine onto something? Is Keith onto something? Are you gonna come see me this weekend? Is Nate onto something? Let me know. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharpe here on Shortwave Radio, the voice of liberty. Back with more of your calls and your chat. I see you, chat. I will get to you after the break.
God bless America.
WYSL.
Avon, Rochester, WLEA, WLEA-FM, Hornell, New York. Canisteo Valley Update.
The Steuben County Village of Bath has had a missing person case since October 2nd. Her name is Nikki Wright. She's 53 years old, described as a black female, 5'7", 160 pounds, brown eyes and black hair. They say through their investigation, the Bath Police Department's discovered she was last heard from on September 20th, at which time she indicated that she was in the city of Rochester. She's believed to be traveling with her dog, which is a brown pit bull mix, and is possibly frequenting the Lyle Avenue area. Anyone who has seen or has any information about Nikki Wright's whereabouts after September 20th, please call the Bath Village Police Department in Steuben County. Number 607-776-2175. Brian O'Neill for the Voice of Liberty.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center for tonight. Mostly cloudy. We'll dip into the 40s and low 50s. On Tuesday, morning clouds should clear for some nice sunshine. Good-looking day with temperatures up into the 60s. Turning noticeably cooler on
Okay, Larry, we're going to have Mike.
Sunny skies in the 50s. And it should be
when you were responding to Keith, I had dropped him and then said next caller, Nate, but maybe you didn't hear me. But yeah, we had the two on hold, so I figured I'd get Keith off. So we have Mike next, and what time is your event on that Saturday again?
$319 a month for 36 months. And check this.
Great, and that's in Oneida?
It's $269 a month for
And it's like about 2 hours from us here. Otherwise, I would swing over there. But I have a football game later in the afternoon broadcast. So
pickup at $299 a month for 42 months. All lease deals require lease loyalty except Wrangler. $2,500 cash or trade down. First payment, DMV taxes and fees due at signing. 7,500 miles per year.
Yeah, it's good to hear you're out there, even if Hochul isn't.
See dealer for details. We welcome Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram customers in Victor, Canandaigua, Macedon, Fairport, and Finger Lakes. Visit the most beautiful new vehicle sales and service dealership in the area. Victor, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, now at 6484 Route 96, just east of Victor.
Hi, I'm Steve Tasker. Over the years, my wife said...
By the way, when my daughter was younger, we used to take drives out to Sylvan Beach. I'm friends with the owner of Sylvan Beach Amusement Park. I don't know if you've ever been in that neck of the woods.
By offering meaningful...
Yeah, he also owns Santa's Workshop up in Wilmington at the base of Whiteface, and he owns the Sterling Renaissance Fair in Sterling, New York.
While disability services are what they were founded...
Hang on, I got another call coming in. I'll be right back.
...offer life-enriching opportunities for people throughout the community through therapeutic writing, health and wellness services, and child care, and more. Now more than ever, Heritage Christian Services needs your support to continue their work. Consider becoming a friend to Heritage Christian like Sarah and I did almost 20 years ago. You can choose to volunteer, share their job opportunities, or make a donation. To learn more, visit heritagechristianservices.org. That's heritagechristianservices.org.
Updike's Willow Ridge of Hornell, an adult care facility, has been giving your loved ones the best care possible since 1989. Their latest vision was to serve their residents the healthiest and freshest meats, eggs, fruits, and vegetables. And now with the help of Lathrop Farms in Canisteo, also Papa Doc's Beef, part of ABC Ranch, and Full Quiver Meats, Whispering Winds Organic Dairy Farm, Updike's has been able to do just that. Located at 131 Hornell Street, Hornell. Call to arrange a tour at 607-324-5417 or visit their website, updikeswillowridge.com.
Start saving for all your tomorrows with a new Super Saver account at Advantage. We have a limited offering of 100 new accounts with rates as high as 4% annual yield. This is only for the first 100 new accounts open, so don't delay. With rates as high as 4%, you can maximize your savings with a minimum deposit required. Go to AdvantageFCU.org. Membership subject to eligibility, member NCUA. Rates subject to change. See website for details.
Smart banking.
Honoring our veterans is one of our missions here at the National Warplane Museum in Geneseo, New York. We can't thank our servicemen enough for their devoted time they've given to their country. Thank you to all who have served.
Nate just called. He heard me talking to you on the web. It's Sunday, not Saturday.
The Class D League crown. that on Saturday at Alfred, Hornell faces unbeaten Alexander.
No, I think you did. I just maybe because I'm listening to the three things at once. Stand by.
Listen in on the Voice of Liberty.
Sharpe Radio on the Voice of Liberty.
Oh, yes. Larry Sharpe here on Sharpe Radio on the Voice of Liberty. 585-346-3000 is the number to give me a buzz. I do want to grab just a couple of comments here. Let's see. Dave says, with all the state and city taxes, New York still needs federal money? That's how much we spend, Dave. 38% of our budget still needs to come from the federal government. True. Kim says, all the taxpayers should call Trump and ask for cash. As much as we pay, we should be getting money back. You're right. John says, these inflation checks are crumbs and nowhere near the money I lost to inflation. True. That being said, where did the money come from? That's the problem. Question economic leftists need to understand. Yet it's magical money, John. It's free money. Why don't you get it? God. Let me grab a call if I could. This is Mike. Mike, how are you, sir?
Larry, pretty good. Hey,
what's going on?
Since we're on the Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, since we're on the subject of money, last week our beloved most legal scholar, Letitia James, had a news little video conference out crying because she was indicted by a jury of her peers, a grand jury, for mortgage fraud.
Yep.
Who's paying her legal bill? Since this was committed out of state.
Me and you are paying that bill. You know that.
Oh, I do know that. Well, I want to. Where's everybody screaming about that? Considering it wasn't even in New York State she was indicted.
Here's the worst part, and I'm going to be forward on this. If this was anybody else, not her, I would say this is BS. I thought Trump's charges were BS. I think her charges are BS. If you made an error or mistake on your mortgage or whatever, then pay the fine, the fee, and move on, right? Assuming there's some kind of victim or something. But I'm okay with her being hammered because she hammered Trump on the same thing. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So she wanted to play that game with Trump, gets played back on her. I'm not mad. But overall, I think the whole concept, I think Trump's charges were garbage. I think her charges are garbage too. If you make a mistake on your whatever, or if you whatever, pay the fine and move on. Why are you going to jail when, did she pay her bills? Yes. Did Trump pay his bills? Yes. Why are we fighting over this? I like the story because she deserves it, but the charges themselves, both Trump's and hers, are garbage.
Well, Larry, listen, there's a mistake of signing something that you didn't read, when you check something off. And there's actually blatant fraud when you say that it's going to be your resident when you are the Attorney General of the state of New York. It is, it's that time-space continuum. You can't be in both places at the same time. There was fraud because she wanted to save like $19,000 on her bill. And if she's done this one little thing, and you can't tell me the prudent Jewish scholar that she is of legal, okay, being the Attorney General of New York, that she did not read that, she did not understand the contrast. If this is the case, okay, we all got duped because she's an idiot.
Well, here is her story. I'm not saying I agree, Mike. Don't yell at me. I'm just saying her story. Her story is that she gave someone a power of attorney and she trusted them and they signed the paperwork. Now, she's saying, yes, she made a mistake trusting the person, but that makes it an error, not fraud. That is her story. That's all I'm saying, Mike. That's her story.
Okay, well, how about the apartment complex which she bought in New York, okay, that had 5 apartments, and she lied on the application saying it was 4 apartments because she got a better interest rate and less taxes.
Look,
was that the same point?
Okay, here's the thing you're not getting, Mike. Orange Man is bad, and she's going against Orange Man. Therefore, whatever she does is okay. Are we clear now?
Oh yeah, we're clear.
There we go. That's what it's actually about. Orange Man is bad. Therefore, whatever
Right.
she does is okay because she's going to attack Orange Man. And then so just accept that. It makes her better than you. You think you're better than her. She's not. She's better than you. Are we good?
Oh yeah, must be that I won't say it, but okay, yep, I understand.
Don't get us all in trouble here, Mike. Don't do it.
I was gonna say something about all black women sororities, but I'll just keep my mouth shut on that one.
I appreciate that. Don't get us in trouble, Mike. Thank you so much,
I
my
won't
friend.
get
Thank you
in
for the
trouble.
call. Have a good one. So, yes. No, look, this Letitia James piece, look, you guys know I'm a libertarian. I'm not about hammering people like that. It's, pay the fine or the fee. If she scammed on a $19,000, then make her pay 19 grand. She got it. Make her pay it and move on. However, she hammered Trump for the same thing, number one. And number two, to Mike's point, you're sitting there all high and mighty. You're the top cop in New York State talking about no one's above the law, blah, 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 talking all that trash. Get hammered. Get hammered. I'm not fighting it. Again, if it was like me or Mike or somebody else, I'd be like, come on, guys, what are we doing here? Pay your fine, pay your fee, move on. The world's not going to end. In the case of Trump, the banks weren't even mad because he paid them back. They didn't care. They're like, he paid us. We got our money. We don't care. And they still hammered him. Now, if the banks are mad at James, then have James pay the banks. They mad at her? I don't know if they are. I don't actually know. But if they are, pay the banks back. Pay the banks back. If they're not mad at her, this is only because she deserves it. She kind of does. So anyway, let me grab a couple more comments if I could. Liberty or Death says, where there goes the narrative that New York State pays more to the feds than it gets back in return. New York State clearly not subsidizing other states, quite the contrary. That's not true. The reality of it is almost everybody gets back more than they give. That's why we're $37 trillion in debt, brother. They give us, we give them, they give us more because a chunk of that's just debt. So I think out of 50 states, something like 48 get back more than they give. That's financially impossible, but true. I think it's 48 out of 50. It's something like that. It's like 47, 46, something like that. The vast majority get back more than they give. Yeah. So it's all debt, brother. That's all it is. Patty says, I paid into SSI and FICA for almost 60 years. I'm owed it. I agree. And this is one of the things, Patty, that libertarians don't get. Libertarians will tell you, we just have to end it. Well, some will. I'm not one of those libertarians. But some libertarians will say, we just have to end it. Get rid of it. Just end it. I love the idea of just ending it. It sounds amazing. Less money from the government. We can start helping each other. Sounds nice. But the problem is it's not realistic for two reasons. Right now, there is no way to help people who are getting it. They're dependent upon the government right now. This is like, we have to find a community way to fix this somehow, number one. And number two, you have paid into it. Many people have for decades. Now, libertarians would say, well, it's a Ponzi scheme. True. But that's not what was sold to all the people who are paying into it. The government has defrauded us. So the government has to pay. So there has to be some way of making people whole. I don't know what that way is. Maybe one day if I run for president, I'll come up with a plan for that. But there has to be some way of making people whole. Because you're right, Patty. It is a Ponzi scheme. That's true. And it was not sold as one. And we were forced to pay it. So something has to happen there. I'm with you 100%. I agree with you. I wish we could somehow fix this magically. Not where it is. Mike Has Bad Knees says, no such thing as free money. Correct. Kim says, no free lunch. Again, correct. Yes, nothing but true. But the problem is, people don't believe it. They don't believe the truth. So, yes. Mike says, you're pretty good at this radio thing, Larry. Also true. I am good. Gene asks, how can a government that is $37 trillion in debt afford to give out money? I think we're all asking that question, Gene. And the answer is, shut up and take the money. That's the answer. Shut up and take the money. It's what John just talked about. John just said that he's lost more money to inflation. Why? Because a government that's $37 trillion in debt keeps giving more and more money. So, yes, that's the reason. It keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. That's the problem. You're right. All righty. Lauren says, with hearts. Oh, she's being loving. Thank you, Lauren, for being loving. According to his physician's public report, Donald Trump received a flu shot and a COVID, don't know if I can say that word on YouTube anymore, I don't know, booster at his doctor's appointment last week. Is that a good or a bad thing? I don't know. For those of you who are about medical freedom, as am I am not against people getting jabs. Get any jab you want. I don't want you to mandate a jab. If he thinks or his doctor thinks that's the right answer for him, good for him. I'm not mad. My worry is the mandate, not the jab. I should be able to own my own life, own my own body, own my own health, and if I think I should get it, I should get it. And you should too, if you think you should. And if you think you shouldn't, that's okay too. Am I wrong? You can tell me. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharpe on Shortwave Radio, the voice of liberty. Back with your calls and your chat after the break.
Debunking advertising from the law office of Christopher Johnson. One
had
had
some
some
injury
injury
attorney. We have Craig.
With what's your case worth? Call us and find out.
You're welcome.
Nobody can tell you, quote, what your case is worth over the phone. Nobody knows. The ultimate answer to, quote, what your case is worth involves weeks or months of research, evaluation, and preparation. Many factors go into any compensation you might get, like applicable law, who's actually at fault, how much insurance coverage there is, and many, many other factors. At the law office of Christopher Johnson, the singular focus is getting your life back on track after an accident or injury. That takes money, and it helps when the advice and legal advice you get has a one-on-one focus informed by straight talk. Christopher Johnson Attorney, car, truck, motorcycle accidents, personal injury, and DWI defense. Call 585-415-3803. 585-415-3803.
Youth for Christ Rochester is creating a safe sanctuary and a Christ culture for at-risk city kids. Our basketball programs provides a strict code of conduct, discipline, and mentoring to give our kids the boundaries they need and crave. Our God's Girls middle school program is so popular we're now in 3 city schools and growing. Our Performing Arts Academy explores and identifies untapped gifts, all while delivering the gospel of Jesus Christ. Give a monthly or one-time gift at yfcrochester.org/donate.
Sharpe Way Radio on the voice of liberty.
It is Larry Sharpe here on Sharpe Way Radio, the voice of liberty. So happy that you're giving me a small chunk of your afternoon. So we've been talking about a lot of good stuff here, and I'm very happy that you guys have been going back and forth. And I want to bring up you're meeting me at Oneida. It looks like Christina's going to be there. Look, any of my events, if any of you want to see me, head over to my social media, Larry Sharpe social media, and you will see where I'm going up. I'm going out almost every weekend, every other weekend or so, somehow crossing the state. Odds are if you're in New York, I can see you someplace. Come on by, say hi. Love to have you. Want to grab a call if I could. This is Craig. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you, Larry?
What's going on?
Oh, well, so as long as you're...
Another call on hold?
I saw Patty commented, and we're going to be in her neck of the woods in Plattsburgh at Premier Vapors. So
yes,
that's a cool thing. The other issue is you're talking about the federal government, all the trillions of dollars in debt. We're doing a government shutdown. That's got people upset.
Yep.
And then you also mentioned the thing about the medical freedom piece. And I see a lot of people out there advocating for federal employees who are laid off now and losing their jobs. And isn't it a bad thing? And those poor people, which, okay. But
Two more on hold.
Same people that 3, 4, 5 years ago were telling me that I should lose my job if I didn't want to get an experimental vaccine. So
that is true.
I wanted to take note of the double standard. It's what you're talking about with the goose for the gander thing. I have a real hard time feeling bad for people who didn't show the same empathy in a similar situation, or arguably a worse situation.
It's a valid point. The problem is, I don't know if those people were pro or anti that. I don't know, right? I'm sure there were some. I'm sure there were some who were like, let them all get fired, get the jab, or lose your job. I'm sure there were some, but there were probably those who were like, this is BS, and they're getting fired too. If I might feel more the way you feel if I would know which one was which, but I can't. And I feel bad no matter what. Just because the first thing was bad doesn't mean the second thing, is good.
Ron.
That's all. So thanks, Craig, for the call. I appreciate it. Let me grab another call if I could. This is Ron. How are you?
Hey, Larry, can you hear me?
I can.
All right, this is Ryan from Rochester. Just to hit on the mortgage fraud with Letitia James.
Yeah.
I've been a New York State licensed insurance broker for quite some time.
Okay.
And so if her mortgage is incorrectly written, so then in turn she's also committing insurance fraud because they both go hand in hand.
Ooh, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Because here's the issue: because when you write the mortgage and you say it's even if she lied about it being her primary home, and she's going to get a certain rate through the bank for that. But if she's saying, well, look, I'm buying this property to rent it, then there's a completely different mortgage that's going to be put in place, which in turn, when you have in New York State a 1 to 4 bedroom landlord property, you can write that through like an Allstate or a State Farm. But once you have more than 5, it has to be written through a bigger carrier because you have more exposure. So the point being is, not only is she rented the place, but now she has the wrong insurance on the home, because if there was to be a fire, the house burns down, they're going to
2 more calls.
know that she doesn't live there, and then they're not going to cover the property. Then they're going to look into mortgage fraud anyways because she already committed insurance fraud.
Wow. I did not know that. You have just educated me, my friend. I appreciate the education. Yep. So,
so I would definitely spread that around and let everybody know.
Yeah. Thank you for the call, my friend. I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, maybe she got to pay extra. Maybe it's more than what I thought here. Frank just says,
Gary.
Hey, James needs to pay the fee plus the corresponding interest rate difference that she cheated the taxpayers for a federally-backed FHA mortgage. She also claimed that her father was her husband. Man, okay. Maybe there's more stuff than I thought of here. All right. I'm open to being wrong here. No worries. Let me grab another call if I could. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine, Larry. I got
It's Gary.
News for you.
What's going on, Gary? Tell me.
Letitia James.
Okay.
There's a gun shop up in the north part of the state that has filed a lawsuit now against her for deprivation of civil rights because she has a habit of using extrajudicial means and breaking the law to go after people that she's got a vendetta against. The first time I knew about it was with New York Citizens Audit. And another news flash is that lawsuit should be dropping today or possibly tomorrow if the courts aren't open today. But we're coming after this mortgage fraud thing right now is what's hot in the news. But she uses a combination of illegal tactics to go after and harass the gun shops and New York Citizens audit.
Oh.
And she also puts out a press release that is defamatory. So that's what she's being sued for in the Tim Bowman case. We dropped that news
Man, I
on
opened up a can of worms with this James thing. I liked it. This is good.
Yeah, we'll have details from Paloma Capana on the Second Amendment show this week. And next week we'll have Marley Hornick on.
Tonight, 8 p.m.
People in
The
New York
Second Amendment
Citizens
show
audit.
is tonight at 8 p.m. Is that correct?
Tonight at 8, Wednesday at 8, and then over the weekend it's noon and 6 on Saturday and 6
There we
on
go.
Sunday. So you got
Thank
all
you for the
kinds
call,
of
brother. I
choices.
appreciate it.
Yep, thanks,
Thank you.
Larry.
All righty. All right. I think I have one more call. You got one more in the queue here?
Roger.
Roger, how are you?
Good. All right, so let me read you this real quick.
Okay.
North Dakota consistently ranks from the least dependent U.S. states on federal funding thanks to its robust energy sector, oil, and agriculture, low unemployment, and efficient state revenue from severance taxes. This allows it to rely less on federal grants as a share of its budget compared to state taxes with states with high poverty rates or larger social services needs, right?
I like that.
I asked what does their public bank contribute to it. It said that the Bank of North Dakota significantly enhances North Dakota's fiscal independence of reinvesting state funds, stabilizing the economy, and directly contributing profits to the state budget. Its unique public banking model supports North Dakota's high-ranking top 10 to 15 among least dependent states on federal funding, distinguishing it from peers like South Dakota or Wyoming, which lack similar institutions. So, yes, you made the argument for why we need a public bank.
There we go. Roger, nicely done. Thank you, my friend. Look, I'm not against public bank at all, but I will go further. I don't mind having local county banks. I don't mind that at all. I think the more we have people involved, localization, the more we have credit unions, co-op banking and financing, the less we will be dependent upon the federal government and centralized control. I'm in, brother. I'm in. Thanks for the call, my friend. Look, he talks about it all the time, and he's right. Roger calls it often. I think this is not a bad idea. We can make this work. I know North Dakota is far smaller than New York, but New York City is a financial hub. If New York City, with all its problems and issues, if it can't make a bank work, what the hell are we doing? Got to make a bank work. That is for sure. So let me grab a couple more comments. Kim says, New York, please elect Larry Sharpe for governor. Yes, she is right, Kim. Thank you for that. What a great way to wrap up this show. Guys, a great show, a lot of back and forth, so many good comments and calls. I want to say thank you so much for giving me a small chunk of your afternoon. I will see you all very soon.
All right, have a great rest of your day. Talk to you next week. Thanks.